Hey, Sami here. I'm not your typical job counselor. I work remote and I travel the world as I kickstart careers. This is raw, real, and on the road.
Hi, I'm Sami, and this is the Career Kickstart Show. I am super excited to bring you body image expert Laura Fenamore because she is here to teach us how we can be more confident, not just in our bodies, but in the office. Because I don't know about you, but I know that when I have been more insecure, that it has led to me just not being as confident in a lot of other areas in my life. And I know for a lot of you guys who are interviewing, if you feel like you look a mess, you might not be interviewing your best. So I'm really excited to have Laura on because she's also written the book Skinny.Fat.Perfect, and she's a pioneer in the self-love and body positivity movement, and I'm really excited to have her on. So Laura, you can introduce yourself way better than me because you are yourself. So how about you tell us who you are, what you do?
Oh, I'm so honored to be here. I am Laura Fenamore, and I did write a book, Skinny.Fat.Perfect, Love Who You See in the Mirror, which you can find on Amazon. And the reason why I do what I do is because when I was 24 years old, I was going to take my life because I was 100 pounds heavier. I was a drug addict. I was an alcoholic. I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And mostly what I hated more than anything was myself. And there's a long story about how that all came to be in my life, but I could just describe my childhood in one word, which it was a nightmare. And, I had a plan of ending it all, and the universe had a different plan for me and put this amazing, what I refer to now as angel in my life, who said, Laura, there's another way of living and there's another way of being, which led me into a year of massive, massive transformation. And between the ages of 24 and 25, instead of killing myself, Sami, I actually released 100 pounds, got clean and sober, and radically transformed my life. Of course, the story of how I got to that place, again, is part of what I share about in my book and the work that I do today. But at 54, almost 30 years later, I can tell you that I'm not any different from anyone that's listening to this. I'm not more special. I'm not more, wonderful. I just did what people told me to do because I wanted my life more than anything, and I wanted my health more than anything. And people that might be watching this might not be feeling good about themselves or how they look or how they're going to look on a job interview. And I'm going to tell you, from somebody that hated herself, fat and thin, never thought that she was pretty or attractive, no matter what I looked like and no matter how much I weighed, it's possible to change.
And that is what I love about your story, is the fact that you've gone through the struggle and the adversity, and then after you have, gone through that transformation, learned so much, and gone through your career, which you've been the CEO of the San Francisco Speakers Bureau, you were the founder of the Balance Journey, and now you're, being the body image expert, you've really been passing it on, and giving people a new lease on life, because I know some people who feel trapped in their bodies, and it limits so much of what they do. And I know for me, being, somebody, who grew up LGBTQ and was very confused about it, a lot of my thoughts when it came to my body was something where I, had such a lack of confidence, where I was always wearing baggy stuff. I wasn't putting myself out there. I would have, I really like drama club, and I would get cast in bigger roles and I would turn them down because I was so nervous of taking that spotlight. It was only once I completed a self-love journey that I really started owning my space and what I do. And I feel like, for, people who haven't really discovered body positivity, they might not know what they're missing out on. Could you explain for, people who are listening who might not know what body positivity is or why it's important to have a good body image? Could you explain those two things for me?
Absolutely. So a very simple definition of body image is not what you look like, it's how you see yourself. So how do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? And what kind of messages do you give yourself when you look in the mirror? Are you constantly criticizing your thighs, your breasts, your arms, your legs? Are you constantly like, oh God, my life would start if I wasn't so fat? Or so on the other side of that, body positivity is learning how to embrace our bodies one body part at a time and actually appreciating our bodies. And one of the things I teach it is a great way to start is to appreciate the function of our body over the form. We can't appreciate our legs for what they look like. We can appreciate that they get us through this life. If we can't appreciate our breasts for, they're too small or too big or they're saggy or whatever, like, they give us pleasure and they give babies life. I mean, in terms of they're the milk bearers. If we can't appreciate our arms for what they look like, think about what your life would be like without your arms. It would be really challenging. It would be possible, but it would be really challenging. So I'm suggesting that we start with the functionality of our body over the form. And, there might be somebody watching this saying, oh, but that doesn't help me on this job interview, or that doesn't help me at work. And I'm saying it's a place to begin, because there is another way to live a life not feeling heavy weight on your shoulders. I mean, there might be physical weight, but if there's a tremendous amount of emotional and mental weight, it's a burden, and I know it. And energetically, people don't want to hire people that have weight on them, because people can sense weight. You can sense when people are really in despair and feeling bad about themselves. So it's really important that we lighten ourselves up emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And as Sami and I were talking about earlier, I was saying, we start with the diet, thinking that the diet is the thing that's going to make us happy or lighter or healthier. Of course, it feels better in our bodies to feel lighter physically because we have less to carry around. But I don't believe that that's sustainable or easy to maintain if you're still hating on yourselves when you look in the mirror, or afraid to go to a job interview because, God, what are they going to be thinking about me? Oh my God, I'm such a big fat pig. All of that mental burden really takes a toll.
Yes, it's true. People can sense vibes. They say that what you say, the verbal cues, that's only 30% of communication. The rest is all body language and how you're holding yourself. And what people who are listening to this don't understand is that before this, me and Laura had this whole venting session against shows like The Biggest Loser, which one, unrealistic, it's unhealthy. None of those people have kept off the weight because they destroyed their metabolisms. And what I really like about Laura is that she uses weight loss as a tool. It's a technique, but your approach is way more holistic. It's like, okay, we need to get that emotional weight. We need to understand why maybe you're overeating, or on the flip side, you're undereating. I certainly know some people who, I've known some very confident women who were of larger sizes, and I've also known some women who, had that conventional, thin figure, but they just had such a mental burden that they didn't feel any better, even though that they had dieted and done all those things that they were supposed to, like drinking cabbage soup, or that what was it, that trend where you had hot lemon water and then cayenne pepper, and they were doing that, and they made their weight loss goal,
both. That's why I'm laughing so hard, because, just because I lost weight 100 pounds 30 years ago doesn't mean that I healed my mental baggage. I still had many years of diet pills, laxatives, obsessive dieting, and compulsive overeating. And I still hated my body as a thin person. So yes, it can be unhealthy and a heavy mental burden, whether you're fat or you're thin. And so.
Yeah. And it's hard to, one of the things that people don't realize, I always talk about careers, but that is because you can't be miserable 40 plus hours a week and hope to have an empowered, authentic life. And that's my business why, is empowerment. That's my career why. That's what I want. But part of it is also you need to be comfortable in your own skin, however that is. So until you get your mindset right, it filters out into other areas. Your weight, whether it's too much or too little, or maybe you have fatigue or you have all these health problems. Those are symptoms, if you're having relationship problems and all these other things. So it all goes back to mindset. And I really like how you really address that. And if people who are listening haven't been to your blog, the website is Skinny.Fat.Perfect.com. And Laura has a bunch of really good articles that she writes and she produces, and also at her Facebook page, that really get to the fact that it's all about your mindset. It starts with your brain. You take, that emotional fat from your brain, or the emotional ill health, and then it works. I know that when I graduated from grad school, I got my first professional job, and I had to start driving a car, because before then I just lived near the university and I just walk everywhere. And then I was also unhappy, and I gained 40 pounds in a year. And I've only started losing it in the last year, when I made a focus on having happiness and joy and alignment be a priority. I call it my happiness diet, it's because that was what made the weight start going away, and also have discipline to actually maintain this. So with you, what is one common thing that you think that if people just kind of went for, you were talking about the function of a body part as a good way. What's another step for people to start appreciating their body?
One thing that takes practice, and it's a process, not a practice, but the mind wants to compare, and we're trained, especially as women, to compare ourselves to other women's bodies, other women's shapes, other women's looks, other women's everything. And we are absolutely inundated with perfect images of perfect women in magazine articles and in celebrity everything. And celebrities are paid to look good. It's part of what is part of the job. And they have handlers. They have people that take care of them every day. And most people don't. So the fact that we're obsessing and wanting to look like her, when in reality, we're just degrading ourselves. Because when we compare ourselves, we're just putting ourselves down and just saying, they're more. So it's as simple as, I'm looking at the woman next to me in line at the grocery store, and she has a hotter body than me, to, God, look at Angelina Jolie, or God, look at, Kim Kardashian, whoever it is, the person of the day. It's it is destructive to us as women, as individuals, to look at other people and say, you're better than me. So if we could just be mindful of that, Sami. And what do? You notice the thought, but you don't capitalize on the thought and collude with the thought and go, oh God, yeah, I am such a big fat pig. Oh God, I wish I would have been there. Oh God, oh God, oh God. You just say, yeah, she's got a nice body. Great. So do I. I'm proud of the function of my body. Right now, I'm where I am, and if I want to get somewhere else, I will get there, but it's certainly not going to be by destroying myself.
Oh, and that is powerful stuff. Once you can get off, you can kind of tell that internal critic to just like beat feet and jog off. You will see so much of your life improve if you can just like tell the peanut gallery to pipe the hell down, that you don't need that. And on that note, I feel like you've given people a lot to chew on. But since we're getting to the end of the interview, what I would really want is for you to kind of share with everybody who's listening where they can find you and what you're doing next, okay?
Great. So as I mentioned, the book is on Amazon, Skinny.Fat.Perfect, Love Who You See in the Mirror. And I have free tools that are really powerful. I have a little ebook. I have an audio from me on my website, Skinny.Fat.Perfect.com. Very simple to go there and sign up for that. And I'm also having a special that's coming up that is, I'm teaching a 4-week class, and I have a ridiculously introductory offer for this class, and it starts on September 25th, 2017, and it's called Fall in Love with Yourself this fall. Fall will be here. It's the beginning of fall, and fall is one of my favorite seasons, and it's all about going deeper into your own story, your own self. So I'm actually going to be teaching this course for 4 Mondays, and it's Skinny.Fat.Perfect /fall special. And you can find information about the fall special because we'll have it tagged in this.
Yep, I will share it in the show notes. And I really like it because it is at a very accessible price for people. I checked it out. It's $97, which, I mean, the thing is that, a lot of people save this stuff for New Year's, but you can end 2017 on a really good footing. Transformation doesn't need to just be in January. Yeah, it doesn't, which for most people is one of the most miserable months. Maybe it's better to get your mindset and where you want to be health-wise before we have to go through the collision course of buffet tables, Christmas cookies, stuffing, and just go into a carb coma. It might be good to prep yourself.
No, I say that the sugar holidays start with Halloween, and then we have Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas and Hanukkah, and then New Year's, and it's all sugar comatose time. So why not get yourself grounded and settled into a new conversation and a new story, which is what I'm going to be teaching you how to do in this class before we go into the sugar coma.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura, for being on the show. I appreciate it.
I'm so grateful. Thank you, Sami.
Well, I'm Sami Gardner, and this is a Career Kickstart show. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Find something cool at cool.careerkickstartacademy.com.